tell me about your dancing days, like being a dancer.
Um, well, shit. I was going to school for massage and all of that stuff. Now, my dancing did not happen there, but I was working doing massage for like 2.5 years, and being, where I'm from, in Oxon Hill, they're going through a phase where, they're trying to change the whole outlook
Yeah.
of a lot of places in the DMV to make it look more fresh and, fulfilling and stuff like that. But they don't understand the challenges that it's, putting towards people like me, the residents and stuff like that, where we were born and raised, in these places and been paying the same amount of rent over time.
Yeah.
So when they fix up these places, yeah, it's beneficial. But then again, it hurts people like me who, been living in these homes over time. It pushes my rent up, and then I had to add on extra expenses like having a car to be able to get back and forth to work and all of that stuff like that. So it's just me after school living a life of expenses. Sometimes even when you have a career and when you've went to school for years and got out, graduated and got your career, sometimes that money don't always feed you like it should or like they promised. So with that being said, I had took like a year off of doing massage and stuff like that because the money, it was pushing, but it really wasn't pushing. I was working at like those starter massage spas and stuff like that, and I needed money. I needed it fast.
Okay.
And I needed a lot of it. And the only thing that I can think of that was kind of honest enough to do was dancing. And so I got into dancing. I had went to Spencer's. I bought me a pole. I went on YouTube and Google. I didn't take no dance classes because I needed to save all the money I can get.
Yeah.
So, I just invested in a pole and I used YouTube as a way to teach myself how to pole dance. I did that. I'm okay. I ain't all that, but I'm all right. And I just went out and, to a couple clubs and, they let me in there for a little small fee. And
do you actually pay a fee for that?
Yes, you have to pay tip in, sometimes tip out.
Oh, okay.
It can range from Baltimore is the best place. They're the cheapest. Sometimes they even free.
Okay.
But here, I had to start out in DC, and it can range from like $40 to $100. Okay. Depending on, I was working at good places like X4B, Ebony Inn, which was, that was the trap, but it had good money in there. I worked at Fuego's.
Oh, you worked at Fuego's?
Yes.
I've been to Fuego's before.
Yeah, I worked at Fuego's a couple of times because, they had that phase where all the clubs were shutting down and then reopening. So they were calling me back to come work there. So yeah, I would work at these places and I would get money so I can be able to take care of my car.
Okay.
I had a niece and a nephew, that were born throughout that time. In the family, we go through struggles. Like, we ain't rich, we ain't got it like that. So, of course, that money, I'm feeding not only myself, I'm feeding my family. I'm making sure I take care of the rent. I'm making sure I take care of, my car. I'm making sure I take care of my body, as a whole, inside and out, I'm making sure I take care of all of that. And by me, making all of that money and stuff like that, I actually saved it instead of just getting it and spending it. So, that's pretty much how.
Did you have to dance nude or just like a cover, like half nude and?
All of the clubs that I've worked at, some of them were bikini bars where you you cannot, dress nude or dance nude. And then some of the clubs were just gentlemen's clubs regularly where you had a choice.
Okay.
I think it was Fuego's and what's that other club? It was another club I was working at, Sensationals. Those were two clubs where when you dance on their stage, which you actually had to dance in the stage rotation, you had to, get nude and stuff like that by your third song. So places like those, like the bigger clubs, you had to get nude and stuff like that.
Okay.
But yeah.
So what is the craziest demand you've experienced dancing? Like have you did anybody approach you as far as like offering more for like sexual favor?
Oh yeah. I mean, we in a world where freedom is being approached on a whole different level. So guys are naturally bold like that.
Okay.
Which I could respect because people go after what they want. And you have to understand there are people out here, that do stuff like that. But you will never know until you ask and
Yeah.
open your mouth. So people might think it's wrong of
Yeah.
guys to, do stuff like that. To me, it's just a natural thing. But I have been asked, to leave the club for, $100 more than what I was going to get
Yeah.
here, or cents more, or pennies more, or whatever like that. I've been asked all of that shit. I've been asked, to go and, you know, dance or, nude and stuff like that for like 6 guys at a time, or whatever, or, wild, bold and
Yeah.
shit like that.
So
I've
is
been
that the
asked.
craziest request you've had? Like, what is the craziest one? If somebody's like try to offer you.
I'll say besides like, trying to meet me after the club
Yeah.
or something like that to do like have sexual
Yeah.
relations for the money and stuff like that. I just think I don't think that's crazy. I think I'm not going to say normal in a good way, but I just think it's normal because everybody do that shit nowadays. But the craziest request that I've had working at the strip club was a guy. He was in there, and of course, he flashed his money. So
Yeah.
when I see money, I'm gonna go get that.
Naturally. Yeah.
But while I was working my way to dancing regularly on him, he was like, "Yeah, so can you just get on your hands and knees in front of me? You don't have to do nothing, but I just want you to just like rub, on my lap and stuff like that. And then, while you're on your hands and knees, while I throw money over top of you type of thing." Now,
It's like a fetish.
right, it was exactly that, a fetish. So he didn't do anything like, crazy or nothing like that, nothing that'll
Not
throw me
anything
off like
sexual.
that, but
Yeah.
it was just a fetish that he had. But that was the only, like, the first time I heard of some shit like that,
Kind of
per
submissive
se.
type. It sounds like
Yeah.
somebody who like those like submissive and
Yeah.
you know BDSM kind of crazy
Yes. So
stuff
that's,
like that.
yes.
So looking at your body, right? It doesn't look like you're naturally gifted, fit. So like, have you experienced some type of like a pressure? Because being in our words that you were, I'm pretty sure most of the girls are like plastic surgery up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what was the um what held you, right, not to get involved with that? The plastic surgery.
And it's so funny. Money, pretty much. Like,
But you were getting
I don't. Yeah, I'm getting money for important shit.
Okay.
To take care of my business, and anything dealing with my businesses, with massage, with my family, with my music and stuff like that. I'm spending money to make money. And even though that still can come in, you can still get breast augmentations and BBLs and all of that stuff like that, and you can make, flip your body into making that money. I don't like pain. I don't like suffering, and I had thoughts in my head before, to get my breast done or my butt done, because when I was working at the strip, club industry and stuff like that, like, you see all of these beautiful women and they getting trash bags loaded full of money and shit like that. And in my head, it's like, damn, like, I need that money. Like, I need that shit. I don't want to go home with one of them little telephone stacks. Yeah. I want a bag too. But, all in all, I have to think, like, either what a lot of these girls do for that money, or, just your natural state behind it years later from now, where that ass gonna go, how them titties gonna look, even though, or how you're gonna feel after that surgery, and what it's gonna do to your body. So, with me, like, I had to think about that shit. I did want to do it. I'm not gonna hold you, but now that I, grow up and realize, like, I'm getting all this attention and all this focus, and all these invites and all of that shit right now, just being slim, petite, thick, or whatever. I don't need that shit.
Do you think, like, for somebody who's been in our world, right, do you think as far as the psychology of men's, like, what do men tends to gravitate towards when they come to the club? Like, a woman with the fake body, or just a natural, regular woman who's chasing the money?
I think nowadays, a woman with guys really gravitate towards women with body, and women, who know how to dress
Okay.
the look,
It's just the look.
how society, shows, today. So it may not be their fault, and I don't fault them for it. A guy gonna be a guy, that's he gonna go after what he want. And then also, if you see somebody out there throwing it out there, they gonna catch, some of them guys gonna catch it, but I mainly see them gravitating more towards thick girls. I'm gonna tell you two reasons why. The night before last, I went to a club with one of my friends, and me and her, we're both, petite and stuff like that, but she's like more of a skinny, slim, thick version than I am. So she gets way more attention, like, and stuff like that. Her attitude is, and I love her, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Her attitude, isn't like that.
It's not too friendly.
She's, yeah, oh no, she's my friend because.
No, but her attitude is not too friendly.
Oh yeah. It's definitely not too friendly. And she's, the picky type.
Okay.
Because she know how her body is and she know what she got.
Okay, so.
And yeah, so she's gonna be picky like that to make sure she getting, back what she need to be received.
Oh, okay.
But in that sense, we also went to New York before, and in New York they praise girls with, to my eyes, they praise girls with thick this and fat that, and all of that stuff like that, and fake this and fake that. So she, we both wear our lace wigs and stuff like that, and we don't do the makeup thing. We'll probably do our some lashes and some eyebrows just to be cute, but again, with her body, she has more of a, way more breast than me, naturally. And then she's in a gym, purposely to make her body, that way.
She's shaping it out.
Exactly. But she's doing it naturally, which I love her for that. But, she has more than me. So when we do go out, I'll get people that talk to me, here and there, but off bucks, they flying to her, they running to her. They're, acknowledging her more, than they would do somebody with my body type. And which I don't fault them at all, because sometimes I don't be wanting guys in my face all the time. I just be wanting the vibe. Yeah. And she, she grew up a little bit, after me. I've been there and done that. So, when I take her out to these places, I want her to get hers. I want her to have a good time and enjoy this life. It ain't making me jealous at all, but that is what guys gravitate more towards, to a girl with, the thicker and the finer and the better.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
yeah.